What's up guys, welcome back to Viewer Castles. So instead of a level 30, this one's only level 28, so it's right on par for where I should be. So let's see if I can get through this. Looks like it was validated by a mage with 2,800 hit points at 690 DPS. This is actually some interesting stuff now that I've learned about this. Like, you can take a look at my own hit points, and it kind of tells you how they might set up their castle, because someone who has high DPS, like this guy, and like I do, will generally speedrun a castle that doesn't have nearly as much burst damage because they can't quite survive it. I might put in a fire mine trap and stuff like that, but it's a lot more difficult to run a castle when you don't have a ton of hit points, because you can't get like past a bunch of traps. If you have nothing but spike traps or something like that, it's harder for a low DPS, not low DPS, a low health character to get through it. But people like knights can get through spike trap and spike tunnels and stuff like that a lot easier. So we have a small fire trap up here. I saw the Cyclops, so I'm gonna see if I can pull him. Looks like I ended up one-shotting him. I've taken quite a bit of damage. I might have to use a potion right before I go onto this. Oh man, that's gonna kill me. I was trying to just step onto that first spike trap. Well, you guys can kind of see. Yeah, I'll start over because I just started. But you guys can kind of see why you want jelly walls on the start of springboard traps like this. You're just going so slow that it's hard to actually just move right on top of there and get off. So I'm not really sure how I want to do this. I think I'm just going to heal up and go for it. Yeah, that was definitely the way to go. There's not a ton of fire traps there. I don't think I really die if I'm full health, so. Alright, let's take a look at this. We got Life Force Mine here. The thing about mines in the middle of your castle, and that I've been realizing more and more, is that knights and mages will heal up off of these. If they've taken any damage from the fire mine trap or the spike traps here, they'll just heal up off of it and be full health again. Which is the reason why I have taken out all of my mines up until the boss room. I think I have one mine, but it's right next to the boss room and there's no creatures after it, so it really doesn't matter. Alright, I'm just gonna try not to take too much damage here. Okay. 2 more corrosive mines. Corrosive mines are actually pretty good in conjunction with spike traps because they reduce your defenses so much. Especially for people who try to just run over spike traps. There's still a lot of people who do that and don't wait for these panels. And I think it's really the only way to do it, is to wait for these panels. If you just kind of sprint over them, yes, you can get through them pretty quickly, but you'll take a hit or two each time. And there's no real reason to do it. A lot of spike traps in this castle. At this point, I think that there's not going to be that many creatures, so I can go over it a little bit, rush over the spike traps with a little bit more confidence. Alright, so there's another fire mine set up here. Looks like another Cyclops there as well. See if I can volley it. No, it gets stuck. Alright, well, this could be kind of bad. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually make it over this and survive. I'm not sure. I don't know how people get over these with, like, high success rates. Like, I'm guessing they just spam their castle over and over until they make it through both of these. That's what I normally do. Because I can get over it with a reasonably high success rate by doing this, but when you have, a Cyclops on top of it, it really does make it a lot more difficult. This is something that I should probably do, and it's definitely something really good to do with fire mine setups like this, is having a Cyclops that pushes you back into the fire mines. It seems like it would be really effective. Obviously I didn't die to that one, but that's only because I think that's because I had my block chance up, so. Archers are decent at getting over those. Mages have the most problems, even though this castle seems to have been validated by a mage. I'm really not sure, but either way, we made it through. Died one time, but ended up making it the second time. And that's generally how I have to handle some castles. a good majority of castles I die the first time and then I make it through the second or the third time. But yeah, we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have a level 24 castle with 804 crowns, which is pretty impressive. That's a pretty high amount of crowns for level 24. Obviously I'm 24 with 889, but you don't normally see that many at level 24. So that's pretty impressive. We have a level 26 archer. That probably validated a pretty low DPS for a level 26 archer, but a high amount of hit points. Or, I mean, a decently high amount of hit points. I guess I'm around the same at level 28, and I have, you know, over double the DPS. But let's jump into it and see what he's got. I think that there's more merit to have higher resistances and higher hit points during open creation than there was previously. DPS used to be like all the rage before open creation. It really was the only thing that mattered. This is gonna hurt. This is similar to my castle. So far, the archer is different, obviously. I don't know if I really like the archer. I mean, it's just bear traps, which I'm not sure how exactly they fall into place. I mean, I guess if they do hit the bear traps, that would be devastating for the person. I have, instead in mine, I have the puppeteer, and then I have one corrosive bind over here. Alright, so let's take a look to see if there's any differences here. Obviously, these setups are pretty common these days, so it doesn't really mean it was similar to mine. I can't really even say that it's my setup because, you know, this was invented before I did it, obviously. Everybody's doing these spike tunnels.
Gotta step out of the line of fire.
The secondary spike tunnel might be a little bit more something that I could call my own, but I don't even know about that. Like, it's a pretty common strategy, so. Alright, so let's continue. And that one was a little bit different as well. I used an IMAX, but he also had a Hunger Bot, which is also a little bit different. So let's continue onwards. I wish Hunger Bots weren't as nerfed as they are. They used to be so much better before, I don't know, a couple months ago. The speed of their hook used to be so ridiculously fast. They were really fun to combo other creatures with, and I think that's the main problem with the game right now, is that creatures don't combo well with each other. They're all kind of trying to accomplish the same goal, besides, like, you know, bad dogs and puppeteers. Those are only the real support units that we have now, but it used to be that Cyclopses were on charge, were good support units, and Hungerbots were great support units and stuff like that. And now they're all just trying to accomplish DPS for the most part. Alright, so let's try to get through this. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try. I don't think I'm going to. I did manage to live through it. Surprisingly enough. Took quite a bit of damage, but I'm okay. Alright, now it looks like it's going to be a heavy spike trap boss room. I'm not sure if I should try to go to the back of the castle. I think I should try to go to the back of the castle instead of trying to pull everything out towards me. So that's what I'm going to do.
Do you need to lie down?
And this is why I'm unsure about, if you guys watched my last video, I said I was kind of unsure about spike trap boss rooms, because I think that Snottingham and other bosses like that just aren't that strong. Like, they're just not strong enough to merit putting in this many spike traps that I don't actually have to walk over. Even if you had the spike traps in the middle like some people do, some people have, you know, spike traps down all 3 lanes, you only have to travel down, you know, 4 or 5 spike traps, and then you're wasting all of these extra points, which is like 2 points per spike trap. Spike traps are one of the lower point costs out of all of them, but it's still only, you know, 3 or 4 traps that I have to walk across to get to the end of the boss room. And so the other 6 to 8, aren't even being used, so that's like 20 points of defense that you're not really even using. It's not really a ton of defense points to keep someone in the boss room, I guess. I can see reasons for it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth using. It's something that I'll have to test out once I get up to level 30, I think. Because most of those boss rooms I see are usually at level 30, and they're keeping you inside with a like level 30 Snottingham or something. And I'm just not high enough level to actually get through it. So we'll see once I get my archer up to level 30 and my castle up to level 30. But yeah, we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Clemens 321, castle levels a 16. So it's almost in range where I could do it with my mage, but I'm not quite there yet where I can actually do high level casts with my mage. He has like level 8 gear or something. I haven't really been messing with him all that much.
Will soon be mine.
But I'll try to get him up to level 16 in the next couple of days to see if I can do castles around this range with a lower level character, so it's not like super imbalanced. This is a pretty well set up flare mine trap. I don't see any problems with it. Let's see if the first one throws you back. Okay, so I can see one problem here is that the first one throws you back. So you can see something in my previous videos about this, where I can just build up stun immunity, and then I can just jump onto it, and it won't matter because I'll have so much stun immunity built up that I can just walk off the trap and it won't actually affect me. It's just, you know, if you get hit by something and knocked down over and over and over again, your character builds up the stun immunity. That's not really mentioned anywhere, but it happens, and it's definitely something that someone can abuse if you have it like that. The only thing that you can do to counteract that, I guess, is have so many ballista traps that when they get thrown back, they're at least going to take a ton of damage. You know, same thing here is I'm going to be able to do it, but at least I'm taking maybe 300 a hit while I'm building up the stun immunity. So it kind of works in your favor. But after about 2 times, you can build up enough where it doesn't really matter which way it throws you. You'll have so much stun immunity after about 2 times hitting it that you can just walk off of any trap that you get thrown on top of. The Zeeks are good, and I mean the boss room is pretty decent. The jelly walls, I'm not really sure, but I guess they're okay. They combine well with the Zeeks. I'm thinking that as long as it doesn't hit your hard cap or your soft cap or whatever it is, if you had like a Snotter or 2 that were that was in this area, like 1 or 2, and they had their aggro circles back on these Zeeks back here, if you could do something like that, I think it would be pretty good. Just so that, you know, the Zeeks get aggroed when you're walking into this area, and then they're shooting at you from the other jelly. So like a knight would have a lot more of a hard time trying to get through that jelly wall while there's 2 Zeeks attacking him. Not something super big, but it could help. But yeah, alright, so we made it through, and this is number 3, so we're going to end the video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of your requests, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. I'm still a little bit backed up, but I'm getting caught up here and there, so there's a spreadsheet where you can kind of see where your name on the list will be. I update it like once a week, so don't freak out if your name doesn't appear on there extremely quickly. It'll get there. I don't really lose emails. I update it when I have to, you know. I update it once I get maybe 6 to 10 requests, and then I'll throw them all on the list. And I update it when I'm recording, but I don't always check the email for new requests as long as I have them to do. But either way, we're doing 2 videos a day for the next couple of days to get caught up, and then I'll be taking new requests. So it might take a little while for me to actually record your video, but level 16 and above is what I'm taking currently. So just throw me an email and I will get to your castle whenever I have time. But besides that, we are just going to end the video. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.